All right, go ahead, Dr. Sultan.
All right, thank you. We will now call this meeting to order at exactly 9 a.m. This millage rate hearing is required per Georgia Code 48-5-32.1, which specifies that whenever a levying authority proposes to establish a general maintenance and operations millage rate that would require increases beyond the rollback rate, the recommending authority shall conduct a minimum of 3 public hearings. This hearing is similar to public comment at our monthly board meeting. Therefore, members of the board will not address persons commenting or speak to the substance of any comments made during the millage rate hearing. Instead, a member of the administrative team will follow up with persons commenting or asking questions. Dr. Broom, Chief Financial Officer, please proceed with the millage rate hearing presentation.
Good morning and thank you. Although the budget is aligned directly with all 4 strategic accelerators, the budget falls under Strategic Accelerator 4, Organizational Effectiveness and Excellence through Financial Transparency. The budget process is ongoing. However, the official fiscal year 26 budget adoption process began in September with a review of the budget timeline. Since that time, budget discussions have taken place each month. From October 2024 to January 2025, board presentations and discussions included the adoption of the budget timeline, a review and discussion of fiscal year 25 school allotment guidelines, budget parameters and priorities, a review of the fiscal year 24 budget and actual expenditures, fiscal year 25 salary and benefit comparisons to the other Metro Atlanta districts, and a presentation by the external auditors on the management and efficiencies of the fiscal year 2024 finances. Each month this fiscal year, the board and community have been presented with various financial reports on all funds and presentations from external partners, including the Tax Commissioner's Office and Decatur's City Manager. Multiple drafts of the fiscal year 26 budget were presented in addition to community meetings to give all stakeholders an opportunity to comment, ask questions, and receive feedback on the budget. The board adopted the tentative budget in April, and after a board community meeting and 2 public budget hearings, the board adopted the final budget and approved the tentative fiscal year 25 millage rate of 20.30 at the May 14th board meeting. The tentative millage rate remains the same as this year's fiscal year 25 millage rate. Today's millage rate hearing is the first of 3 hearings. A millage rate is a property tax on the value of a property. 1 mil is equivalent to 0.1%. 1 mil translates into $1 of property taxes per $1,000 of assessed value. Therefore, 20.30 mils, which is the tentative adopted millage rate, would equate to $20.30 per $1,000 of assessed value. A millage rate is the determining factor when calculating property taxes. The Taxpayer Bill of Rights is Senate Bill 177 and Act 431 and was signed April 30th, 1999 and became effective January 1st, 2000. The bill's main purpose is to enhance individual property owners' rights and transparency by ensuring all stakeholders are informed. Taxing authorities, such as the Board of Education, are required to hold 3 public hearings if adopting a millage rate higher than the computed rollback rate. The computed rollback rate is 19.083, and the tentative millage rate under adoption is 20.30. Additionally, the bill prevents indirect tax increases resulting from increasing existing property values due to inflation. The Board of Education has tentatively adopted to maintain the current millage rate of 20.30 for fiscal year 2026. The final adoption of the millage rate is scheduled for June 20th at 6:30 p.m. There are numerous justifications for maintaining a millage rate above the rollback rate of 19.083, including funding the state's unfunded mandates for health benefits and teacher retirement increases, providing life insurance and competitive salary increases to all full-time employees, investing in critical areas such as safety and security, special education, and instruction, allowing the district to maintain a fund balance within the 4 to 15% range as specified by board policy DCL. The budget also includes the addition of 6 school-based positions, an executive director in the deputy superintendent's office, and 3 school resource officers contracted from the city of Decatur. Per OCGA Code Section 48-5-32.1, the district is required under the Taxpayers' Bill of Rights to compute the rollback millage rate that will produce the same revenue that would have been produced on the current digest if last year's millage rate was unchanged and no reassessment occurred. This slide is the computed rollback millage rate. In the middle of the form, under the title Calculations of Rollback Rate, the rollback rate listed in red is 19.083. This is 1.217 mills less than the current millage rate of 20.30. This means if the district elected to collect the same amount of property revenues for next fiscal year 26, as we collected for this fiscal year, the millage rate would need to be rolled back 1.217 mills to 19.083. In the lower right corner in red is the percentage increase in property taxes for the millage rate of 20.30 compared to the rollback rate of 19.083. There's a 6.38% increase. This means for a property with a fair market value of $700,000, the tentative annual tax increase would be approximately $426. And for non-homestead property with a fair market value of $900,000, the tentative annual tax increase would be approximately $548. The average tax increase would equate to approximately $61 for every $100,000 of assessed property value. Whenever the millage rate exceeds the rollback rate, Georgia law requires districts to issue a press release, advertise the 5-year history of levy, advertise the public hearings, and hold 3 public millage rate hearings. Advertisements were listed in the Champion newspaper and are on the district's website. This is the press release that was sent to the Champion newspaper announcing the 6.38% increase over the rollback rate and the dates and times of the public hearings and board meetings for final adoption. This slide is the advertisement of the current 2025 property tax and 5-year history of levy. The history of levy shows the gross digest value, highlighted in yellow, less exemptions, highlighted in blue, which gives you the net digest value, highlighted in orange. The net digest value multiplied by the millage rate gives you the total taxes levied. For the current budget at a millage rate of 20.30, the total taxes levied for 2025 are $65.2 million, shown highlighted in gray. After subtracting out collection fees, delinquent accounts, and appeals, the annual collection is estimated at $64 million. This slide is the notice of property tax increase. The notice of property tax increase was advertised in the Champion newspaper on June 5th and will be advertised on June 13th. This notice advertises the 6.38% increase in property tax and the dates and times of the 3 hearings. Additionally, this notice provides the financial impact of the increase for a home with a fair market value of $700,000 and non-homestead property with a fair market value of $900,000, as explained on a previous slide. This slide shows a visual of the district's millage rate history from 2017 to present. The millage rate increases and decreases are directly related to the economy and needs of the district. Fiscal year 2026 millage rate was tentatively adopted at 20.30, which is the same millage rate as the current year. This is your fiscal year 26 budget with a millage rate of 20.30. Total expenditures and total revenues are highlighted in yellow. Total expenditures exceed total revenue by $3.1 million, shown on the table to the right, highlighted in yellow. The $3.1 million will be deducted from the projected beginning fund balance, leaving a projected ending fund balance of approximately $17.7 million, highlighted in yellow on the table to the right. Next steps in the fiscal year 26 budget process are the remaining two public millage rate hearings and the printing of the fiscal year 26 budget book. The second millage rate hearing is at 6:15 p.m. this evening. The third and final millage rate hearing is at 6 p.m. on June 20th, and the final adoption of the millage rate will occur on June 20th at 6:30 p.m. The millage rate hearings and the special board meetings are all virtual, and the link is on the district website along with the dates and times of the meeting. The budget feedback link is active 24 hours a day and 360 days a year. The link can be scanned and is on the district's website. This will conclude the first of 3 public millage rate hearing presentations.
Thank you, Dr. Broom, for the presentation. Essen, do we have anybody signed up for public comment?
Dr. Sultan, no one has raised their hand for public comment.
Thank you so much. Then we'll move to adjournment. Thank you for attending the first of 3 millage rate hearings. The board's second millage rate hearing will be held virtually this evening, Thursday, June 12th at 6:15 p.m. using the same Zoom link, which is on the district's website. This meeting is adjourned at 9:12 a.m. Thank you.